Welcome on back, everybody. It is Tuesday night. My name, of course, is Seth Benoff, and I'm running solo currently. Um, it is what it is. Christina is traveling, so Christina will not be here this evening. Jacob is in the nether somewhere. I don't know, he'll be here. He'll be along momentarily, is my understanding. So, um, he suggested that maybe I try to vamp for like 20 minutes. Now, don't get me wrong, I can talk, and it's just I could probably get through the whole show in 20 minutes if it's just me. So, definitely don't want to do that. Want to give Jacob a chance to get in and discuss the big news of the week. So, right, some people, right? Some people. I don't know what to do. You know, what can you do? So, welcome on in, everybody. It's Tuesday night. Hopefully, you all enjoyed your weekend. Hopefully, you guys got to do something fun that was not including watching United lose at the weekend. I've got the Lobo game up over here. Lobos have retaken the lead here in the second half, 45-41 with 17:40 to play in the second half with a trip to the NIT semifinals on the line. Absolutely, Michael. Big news week for the club. And we'll certainly get into all of that. While we're waiting on Jacob, I do have a little bit of news for you guys regarding ESPN Radio 117 The Team and upcoming radio broadcasts for New Mexico United. As it stands right now, 1017 The Team will not carry another radio broadcast until another away broadcast. Let me be clear. Will not carry another away radio broadcast until the Phoenix Rising match on April 11th, which means as of right now, the Orange County match will not be carried by 1017. Beyond that, I don't know yet. It is what it is. We will plan on doing a watch along for that match for Orange County. So stay tuned. We'll put out some details about that. Jacob and I will try to square things on our end so that we can be here to watch that match along with you guys. Can we discuss Thong FC? Yes, we can discuss that one. We can also discuss what's the other one? Harry can't be here either. We want to get Harry on tonight because Harry is obviously San Antonio, but he is with his son at a state soccer tournament. So we wish AJ well in his soccer tournament. Hopefully his team performs well. So let me pull this up and we'll talk about this while we're talking about this. Let me pull up X because X is where I saw this thing. Where is this one? Monroe United. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not. There was a social media post from the APSL, the Mitten Conference. If you guys didn't see this, apparently someone's trying to rip off our shield. So, Justin, you have to, I think I know what you're talking about as far as Thong FC, but oh, maybe I did it from my account. Hang on. Let me find this for you guys. Did you guys see this? I shared it in a couple of different places, but yeah. All right, here it is. Let me share this with you guys, and we'll talk about this. So the American Premier Soccer League decided to welcome a new club to their conference, the Mitten Conference, out of Monroe, Michigan. Monroe United. So, guys, welcome to the APSL. I thought for half a second that we had joined a new league. This is blatant thievery of our shield. This is blatant. Yeah. Yeah, I completely missed this when it was first put out there on social media, but yeah, Shadow Wolf pointed this out, and yeah, this is just this is ridiculous. Just the similarities here are wild. Yeah, so there's that. It's yeah, it's just it's so Eagle FC or something had changed. Yeah, I remember seeing it happen with other ones. So yeah, I sent this to a couple folks, and some people some people were confused. I was like, wait, what's the United doing? So but yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. I didn't know if anyone had seen that yet or not. I saw it. I was like, wow, that's just absolutely blatant. So yeah, if you guys want to share Justin Thong FC, if you want to share that with the class, we'll do that. But yeah, it's been an interesting week, and yes, I am vamping, trying to buy some time here. Other news from around the league quickly. Lou City, Danny Cruz is out at Lou City. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Danny Cruz has moved on to Minnesota United. So yeah, it's an interesting move for Danny Cruz. I mean, obviously, career opportunity for Coach Cruz, but to leave Lou City, I mean, honestly, he's about the only thing he hasn't done is consistently win the final. But other than that, I mean, he's done just about all you can do at this level. So congrats to him. It's not like Minnesota's got a head coaching vacancy. So I don't know. It's a head scratcher of a move to some extent, but at the same time, I do understand. You know, you want to see guys move up and move on, and the USL continue to develop players and coaching talent and see things go from there. Quick look around the weekend's scores. Loudoun United drew with Miami FC 0-0. Lou City defeated Rhode Island 4-2. Indy 11 defeated Detroit City FC by a final of 2-1. Brooklyn lost at home to Hartford Athletic. Battery defeated Legion 3-2. Tampa Bay Rowdies shut out Pittsburgh Riverhounds 3-0 over Al Lang. FC Tulsa defeated Las Vegas Lights FC by a final of 3-2. Orange County beat Colorado 1-0. Sacramento and Monterey played to a 1-1 draw. And then Phoenix Rising came from behind to pick up a draw against Oakland Roots, and that one finished 2-2 over at Phoenix Rising Stadium. A lot of interesting score lines from around the weekend. And I did have to take umbrage with one of the posts from the USL Championship. I think it was this morning or yesterday. They put out a post saying, "Oh, the table's starting to take shape," and maybe it's just me, but I'm going, you've got teams that have 27, 28 matches to play. Your table's not taking shape just yet. So give it a few more weeks and maybe you can say it's starting to take shape, but I don't see it. I don't see it right now. There's a lot to move. There's a lot that can happen. So I don't think anything's necessarily taking shape just yet. Shark Coast FC. Oh, I think I've seen them. Yeah. Chris Shakes, by the way, not nominated for Save of the Week, which I think is a travesty. Chris had some pretty good saves, and we'll get to that. Shark Coast FC and Pennsylvania Classics. Oh, God. They're in the Shark Coast FC's in the UPS. Oh, they're joining USL League 2. Yeah, here's this. Shark Coast FC. That's not a bad shield right there. I can get behind that one. Can certainly appreciate it. Real Colorado. I am not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that color scheme, number one. Number two, that doesn't look good. I'm not seeing that one there. So, oh, there he is. There's Jacob.
I'm assuming we already saw Thong FC.
Not yet.
Oh, no? Oh, that's a good one.
If you're talking about Shark Coast,
I don't know what it is. It just looks like no.
No, not that one. Is it what Pennsylvania Classics? Yeah, the Real Colorado looks awful. All right, let me pull this down here for a second. So, Jacob, how are you? How you been? The hair is flowing.
Yeah.
All you need now is a fan.
Got the hair down. No, everything's good, man. Everything's really good.
Okay.
Kind of hectic today, or this evening anyways. But no, we're good.
Oh, here it is. Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's a Space Coast coming. Yeah, there's a Space Coast.
Space Ghost, coast to coast.
Yep. All right, here it is. Thong FC.
Yeah, where's their actual crest? Because that doesn't look as bad as their actual crest. Their crest looks ridiculous.
I'm looking.
Oh, they don't have. Where's that?
Doesn't look like it, unless there's a better image somewhere.
Yeah, there's the one that Justin sent me was like, oh yeah, that's definitely a thong.
Fun stuff. So yeah, trying to vamp, trying to buy you some time. Glad you're here. Oh God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Yeah, I thought we were talking here too about Monroe United.
I don't think I've seen that one.
You haven't seen Monroe United?
I don't think so.
This is the one I put in our group chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the APSL.
Yeah.
And led me to believe that United had joined a new league.
Yeah, that was the one that Shadow Wolf tagged us in, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Monroe United. Yeah, that's awful. Just blatant ripoffs. Looks like Monroe, I may have been using that logo since 2022.
That's still after us.
It's still after us.
Still ripoff.
But yeah, glad you're here. We've got some things to get to. I guess we start with the big news of the week. Danny Cruz. I already mentioned him, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
No. So big news. City of Albuquerque held a vote yesterday. The city voted 5-1.
Well, the Danny Cruz news is way bigger than this.
I mean, Danny Cruz doesn't specifically affect us, so it is big for the league. But
technically,
yeah. City of Albuquerque voted 5-1 in favor of building a stadium, a sports stadium. Let's leave it at that. A sports stadium at the fairgrounds for part of the renovation upgrades of the state fairgrounds. Both Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham and Mayor Tim Keller have suggested that it may be a good home for New Mexico United. I reached out. I've been waiting for this vote to happen. I know because it had been suggested last week in a news article, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. And the club had come out and had been interviews, and they said that United was not involved, nor were they consulted about a stadium at the fairgrounds. And that was the news at the time. I reached out to one of our contacts at the club. I said, hey, sounds like the mayor and the governor are pushing fairgrounds for the club. From the outside, I imagine any change from Balloon Fiesta Park would face legal challenges from the area. Is the club considering a move, or is it a full commitment to be at Balloon Fiesta Park? The response I got was, Peter will be releasing a statement. In case you missed Peter's statement, this is very non-committal. In a statement released yesterday by new communications manager, Sombrero Man. By the way, congrats to Carlos. I texted him, didn't get a response back, but I get it. Probably pretty busy this week. Telling him congratulations on the new job. From Pete, we're encouraged by the State Fairgrounds Board taking this important step toward a comprehensive master plan that includes the potential for a stadium. This is a public process, and it should be, because the future of this site belongs to the entire state and the surrounding community. For New Mexico United, a stadium has always been about more than soccer. It's about creating a year-round shared space that brings people together in meaningful and lasting ways. We're excited about the possibilities, and for the right project, this is key, and for the right project, we're prepared to bring forward our $30 million private commitment as part of a broader public-private partnership. What matters most is that any development here is thoughtfully integrated into the surrounding neighborhoods, reflecting the shared values of this community and serving as a true catalyst for positive change. This has to work for everyone. That means incorporating green space and trees, creating opportunities for affordable housing, supporting local art and culture, prioritizing safety, and delivering an anchor event center to create jobs, drive commerce, and support local business that are working hard to thrive. We look forward to continuing to listen, engage, and collaborate as this process moves forward. So I said on social media, I said in our group chat, not a yes, not a no to United for sure being at Fairgrounds. I think it's very important to note here that Pete did say for the right project. Now, we've talked for months and years about stadium locations. And I think this is an important map too. Christina shared this map with us as well. Can you make that map bigger there? While we talk about this. So this is a proposed concept here. Now, no matter where this stadium is going to go, we've already seen legal challenges. We saw the stadium in downtown get voted down. We've seen the community and the neighborhood association out by Balloon Fiesta Park continue to challenge us, and it's now in the New Mexico Court of Appeals. So that's on hold. Ron has since made a statement over on Facebook stating that he believes, or so his understanding is that it would be quicker to get a stadium at Fairgrounds. Now, first of all, what do we think the likelihood of United uprooting from Balloon Fiesta Park and coming to Fairgrounds is? I think that's one of the most important questions here, right? Because the club is invested in Balloon Fiesta Park. We've pushed Balloon Fiesta Park for a very long time. And I think most fans are sold on the idea of Balloon Fiesta Park at this point, right?
Now, I don't know about that.
Now, I guess it requires city involvement and city upgrades and maintenance and, sewer lines and streets and traffic signals and, bus stops and all kinds of things out at Balloon Fiesta Park to enhance the area. Fairgrounds. Now, let's face it. Number one, this is a terrible neighborhood. I mean, that's point blank. This is not, and I've said this in our group chat, and I tell you, I'm not a NIMBY. I am 100% in support of building a stadium, right? I've stumped for the stadium. I've canvassed for the stadium. Like, I want a stadium. I lived right at the corner of Central Louisiana for multiple years. This is a terrible, terrible neighborhood. I don't care what you build there. Up and down Central between San Mateo and Wyoming is unbelievably awful. Building a stadium here, building housing here is not going to fix the problem, right? I think it's fair to say that alone is not going to fix the problem. And looking at the diagram here, you're covering the current flea market parking lot, like stuff that's already there. Now, as Symphonic mentions, maybe this is the project of least resistance of getting a project done. And Jacob, I know that I'm pretty sure you have a different opinion than I do.
I do.
This is not a good neighborhood for this.
I don't have a different of opinion there. Like, I think everybody kind of knows and agrees that is a less than ideal current neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that if we do nothing, it's going to stay a nasty neighborhood. This is at least trying to do something to make it better. Whether or not that would happen or not, I don't know. Like, unless this happens, we don't know. I think even if it does stay a terrible neighborhood, it's not going to affect the quality of the stadium or the game. There will constantly, if it gets built, and excuse me, and the city lets homeless camp on the green areas around it, then they failed, right? I don't think they'll do that because that just doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most people. And so I would assume, now we know what assuming leads to, right? But I would assume that if it gets done, that this area all of a sudden is getting more regularly patrolled, more regularly enforced, and they will do what is necessary to keep it clean. But it just depends on who's in charge and what that process looks like. I think that this is like Symphonic said, this is a faster path, possibly a faster path. It definitely isn't going to have, I don't think it's going to have quite the neighborhood pushback, seeing as that's already, like, yes, we're adding a stadium there, but that place is already kind of a disaster in the ways that we've talked about, and also in like, hey, it already gets used a lot. There's already things going on there. This isn't going to change that too much.
I mean, so when you're talking about things happening at Expo New Mexico, right? You've got State Fair, which
Mm-hmm.
is a week and a half out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Downs is very rarely, if ever, used anymore.
It's they hold races there every day for like 3 months. Now it's not going to be 10. There's not 10,000 people that go to that.
Absolutely not.
But there's still people there.
And I think too, there's housing, there's neighborhoods across Louisiana here. You've got housing on the other side of Central. You've got housing on the other side of San Pedro. I expect this to receive just as many, if not more, legal issues, because it's going to have to go through all the vetting again.
I don't think the people that live in that area are the same type of people that live by Balloon Fiesta Park, to put it nicely.
I think that's fair.
And so I just don't see them quite being as persnickety as, if you guys had persnickety on your bingo card, congratulations, because I sure didn't. But I just think I feel like it has avenues to go faster than Balloon Fiesta is currently. I know I've seen either Ron or Peter basically say like, hey, we have a lease in place already signed.
They do.
Up at Balloon Fiesta Park. But part of that lease is a pad ready site to build on, and that is not there. And according to what I read, that is not that the city's not going to get that area pad ready until the court system is finished, which who knows how long that can be. And I wouldn't be surprised if we could get out of that lease, or if the city would just let us out if this becomes a really viable option. And so it's kind of a, I don't know. I'm not thrilled with either option. I just want a freaking stadium, and I want shovels in the dirt
Mm-hmm.
and progress being made that we can visually see, not it being made through the court system and this and that and the other. And if this gets us there faster, then cool, let's do that. At the end of the day, I like this idea just as well as I like Balloon Fiesta Park. And so that's like Josh just said, can we just get it the fuck done already? Because that's where we're at.
Yeah, and obviously there's pros to Balloon Fiesta. There's cons to this area. I struggle seeing the pros here, for this location.
I'll give them to you.
Go for it.
Potentially a faster build.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially room for a bigger stadium that holds the 15,000 that could be for Division One. Potentially, there is public transit on Central, a little bit easier. Now, where you would park, I don't know.
Yeah, that's part of the problem there.
They bring people in for State Fair. They bring people in from a couple different places that could be an option possibly in the future. And I think there's a big picture argument to make that Balloon Fiesta Park is Balloon Fiesta Park. That's like that area is what it is already. If you wanted to argue that if we really want to try to make the place better, this is a way that if you're going to really change this area or potentially change this area, I think this would probably be the best way to go about doing that. I think that having the stadium there helps keep this project in line and keep this project going. I don't remember who it was. Well, I know it was Andy Hageman. But I don't remember exactly what he said. But basically, he said that, and I'll have to go look at his comment later, but he said that when he went to the meeting a couple of Fridays ago, what seemed to be the case was this sports stadium getting done and having a tenant in there was kind of vital for the rest of these projects to get done. I'm assuming by what was meant by that and what that is this is going to be the best way to generate revenue for the city and state with this project. And if you get a tenant like United in there, especially that draws, 10, 15, 20,000, if it holds that much for a potential match, some potential matches, then all of a sudden now you're like, I don't know what the agreement would be. The agreement, from what I understood for Balloon Fiesta Park, was the team is going to put their $30 million into this project. They're going to build something there. And then after 20 years, I think it was, they were going to sell it back to the stadium or to the city for cheap, like $1. And then the city would now own it and presumably make money off of it, whether that's United in there still or not, which I'm pretty sure it will be. And so if it's a similar deal to this, that's going to be the best way for the city to generate revenue for the rest of this project that they want to get done and continue to expand and grow this area and pour money into it. Right. So there's a, like, I don't know what a savior complex argument to make of, if we were to be there, not only would we have our own stadium, not only would we be able to go to our games on a soccer field, not only would we be able to have Devin Sandoval and Daniel Bruce statues and walk up a set of stairs to the media room that has all the different kits from all the different eras, like at Isotopes Park. But we would also be trying to better that area that, as we have talked about ad nauseum since this was brought up either on the pod or on Facebook or whatever, is not the best. Mm-hmm. And so to me, those are the pros. The biggest of those in my eyes is just getting it done faster, because I'm fed up with not having a stadium. But there are some other ones there. And I have some nostalgia to Balloon Fiesta Park, or not Balloon Fiesta Park, to the State Fair. I've been going to the State Fair since I was a tiny little kid. And so if my obsession of New Mexico United is all of a sudden moved there, then my fondness of that place would just grow would grow stronger. And so I don't hate it. It's not ideal, but neither is Balloon Fiesta Park, in my opinion.
So to give you guys an idea quickly, so they're asking where's the site? It's about 4.5 miles east of Isotopes Park, and this is what the area looks like now. So if you compare this to the other image, right? Let me see. Can we add? Oh, we can't do both at the same time. There are businesses currently here, right? So all of this, it covers from San Pedro up to Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
That's where this entire thing is going to go, and then they're going to renovate all of this as well. Now, I don't know how far what they're going to do with all of this over here, but up to Lomas, for those of you that aren't familiar, that's where Fairgrounds ends. But so they're going to have to figure out what to do. Again, what do you do with all these businesses that are in here too? Right.
My question would be, how many of those businesses are actually open right now, and how many of them are just buildings?
I can tell you a number of these are, especially like Central Tires, these Booze Automotive, Craft Cannabis is open. Like these are all Musical Theater Southwest. These are all open businesses. So,
Hold on. Space Kid, what? You sell statues? Okay. That just broke my brain a little bit, because who the hell sells statues? Sorry. This is much bigger. The statues are a much bigger importance to me than this right now.
I wish I could draw on this map, but like when you're talking about the stadium, the area that they've got zoned out for the stadium is basically this parking lot right here, right? Essentially this parking lot. So this should be big enough to house a stadium the size that we would like, right? But yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, traffic in and out of here is already awful during any event, and Central itself is terrible anyway.
I'm gonna switch back to mine real quick.
The old Walmart right here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Infield parking is always where I park for State Fair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not great by any means, don't get me wrong. But there are a couple tweaks that you could make to that infield parking as part of this project that could give you a couple different ways to ingress and egress there that would speed that up a little bit.
You'd have to set it up like State Fair, getting people in and out.
Yeah, for sure. But see where that red arrow is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right here where it says copper.
Yeah.
That exit there.
It's awful.
Plus, I never use that one.
Yeah.
Because for State Fair, they always use the one that's up north.
Yeah.
And so, but if you had that one and the one up north, and then possibly one right here on Domingo, this other red arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you could park. There's more. This map doesn't show it, but there's other expo parking kind of over on the right-hand side or left-hand side there, over off of San Pedro, kind of where it says Winter Wonderland in him. There's some parking over there. There's ways that you could do it. And at the end of the day, I think 10,000 people is a lot easier to manage than a whole day worth of people at the State Fair.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really compare the traffic at the State Fair to the traffic of a United game. It's not going to be great. But guess what? If you try to get 10,000 people and parked near any stadium, traffic at the current stadium sucks when everybody's leaving at the same time.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never had that problem whatsoever.
Yeah, because we don't leave at the same time.
That's true.
We leave late.
Yeah.
But if you wait for the final whistle and then leave right away, traffic there is a nightmare.
Yep.
It's going to be that way no matter at Balloon Fiesta Park, it's going to be that way.
Yeah. If
you build at Mesa del Sol, it's going to be that way. If you build downtown where the rail runner or where the rail yards were, it's going to be that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so to the point here, what about people living at left stadium? Yeah, like all of this is residential right here, right? They're talking about building residential areas here. You've got residential areas through here. You've got residential back here. You know, like there's, yeah, I don't know. And you talk about, parking, like there's this and like smaller lots here. But again, what are they doing with, what are they going to do with all this area, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is the easier path, right? But like, cops are already up and down Central all day long. Art, transit police are up and down Central all day long. It's just not a good time. I saw someone talk about the potential to walk from here to Nob Hill. I wouldn't walk this. I would not walk from here to Nob Hill. Absolutely not. Like, is it legal in Albuquerque for people to sell parking on their property? Like, who knows? Probably not.
No, it is. I mean, there's people that do it for the state fair all the time.
I know the businesses across the street rent out their lots over here, but I've never heard of private, residence owners.
I think what Symphonic is talking about is the businesses, but it doesn't. Nowhere is going to be perfect.
No.
If this gets done, then I think it could grow to be better and easier. But kind of like you said, like Peter said, there was no yes, no, no. Mm-hmm. It's very much just like speculative at this point. There is a lease agreement in place with Balloon Fiesta Park. There is a way that process all of a sudden just goes away and we're putting shovels in the ground next week. Mm-hmm. Not likely by any means, but there is a way. And so it could be either place still. I think personally, if we'd have gone the Mesa del Sol route, we'd probably already be done.
I don't doubt that.
And we could be already at least building right now. Mm-hmm. And I get why we didn't do that to an extent. It's not the best place. There's no connection there. Like if you go to a concert at Journal Pavilion, it's still hell to get in and out of there, but it would be done, or at least on the way to being done. And so I wish that we were at that point, but I get why we're not.
Yeah. No, it's just, like I said, there's no perfect place. I stumped for the original stadium plans to go downtown. I went out and canvassed with David Weesey Carl. We went door to door knocking, talking people about the stadium, right? Mm-hmm. Like that was fucking 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Now at this point, that was a long time ago.
It's not longer, yeah.
Yeah.
To Josh's point, it's not that far.
It's not.
But I also might be a little biased there because I've lived in Valencia County when I've lived in the area. And so I drive by it all the time. I worked in Albuquerque and lived in Valencia County up until I moved out here to Fort Sumner. So I'm kind of used to driving that. And then we go out there for media events and stuff like that. And it's really not too bad. And as far as the nothing out there part, there's nothing out there right now. There's a few
growing. Have you been?
Few businesses, yeah. There's a few businesses out there, a few restaurants, but there's space out there, which I think is one of the most important things. Is there's plenty of space that you could put a stadium there, and then there's space where people could buy property and build some restaurants and some stores and make it a bit more of a community.
And that area of Rio Bravo right there too has been building. They've been building there for the past year and a half, 2 years, and they've completely redone that. It's far easier to get in and out. You've got University, you've got the freeway, you've got, trying to go, if you try to go east out of like Mesa del Sol, like that's terrible. Like there's nowhere to go that way. Right. But the ingress and egress there, other than like Journal Pavilion, but it's just like, don't rush the fucking exit. Like just be patient. But you're going to run into that no matter where you're at with any event. Right. Mesa del Sol's not that bad. I would have loved Mesa del Sol but that's just my opinion. Again, it's space, right? And that's what you need. It's not a terrible drive. It's really not. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's not a yes, it's not a no. We'll see. I think the key point that Pete said is, the right project.
Mhm.
So, I mean, who knows? The governor is optimistic that spending, $114 million, here to renovate fairgrounds will help generate enough revenue to where to where the city and the state can eventually, in her words, spend $1 billion on renovating the area. But even if the state does all this work there, where do the other businesses come in, right? Because again, it's a terrible area. And right now there's nobody wanting to invest in this area. The newest thing that there's a new apartment complex going in right there. But other than that, like the newest thing that's been built has been a library, and that dealt with a lot of vandalism and stuff in its early stages.
Justin's argument, though, and there's plenty of arguments to be made. I mean, there are countless downtown stadium projects that have moved into areas that maybe not are quite as bad as the area around State Fair, but still plenty of not good areas. And then a stadium has come in, and businesses, restaurants, anything like that will go where the people are.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's property for sale near there, which there will be if this happens, then people will try to buy it up and will put stuff there and invest. If it's a guaranteed 17 nights of what, 10, 12,000 people, 17 nights a year, plus potentially a women's club, plus potentially concerts, plus potentially other events, high school tournaments, whatever else you want to do down there, then there's going to be people that are like, hey, we're going to build where the people are. This is where the people are. Let's build. Now, whether we get over the hump of like people are building there and it's going well and this area is kind of changing, we'd have to see. But I don't know. I think you want to be closer to a freeway personally. And it's like I said, it's not ideal. I just want it to be done. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, so I'm going to shut up. But I just want it to be done.
Yep. As a space kid, where is the money in New Mexico? Weed and oil. Weed and oil. Honestly, that's where it is right now. And I guess Netflix too, if but yeah, weed and oil primarily right now.
Some of that stuff from the film industry, but part of the reason why the film industry comes here is because we do give them a lot of breaks.
Mm-hmm. We do a lot of breaks.
So they do bring money in, but it's not as much as they should be paying because we give them a bunch of breaks because we want them here. Yeah. And then same with, I mean, the weed is taxed pretty heavily, but and oil and gas is always going to be our biggest moneymaker down here towards my neck of the woods. And so, the tattoo shops. I don't think they make anybody money, though. I don't even know if they make the tattoo artist money.
Yeah, but I mean, that's where the money is. Those are the biggest industries here. We do have some tech, like Blue Halo and some others, that type of stuff. But I mean, as far as
Amazon's building, I mean, they have stuff
on the face of the Meta data center or whatever.
Yeah, down there in Los Lunas. Amazon's putting a new one here in Clovis, another warehouse over here. And so there's a few things there, but cattle is also a decent one for a lot of the state. But
and I don't know how much money Amazon makes the state. I mean, I'm surely Amazon got a huge tax break from the state to build as much as they have, but
much like Netflix and stuff.
Yep. Speaking of Amazon, I had a porch pirate today. No chill walked up to my video camera, to my video doorbell, knelt down like you're knocking on my door, grabbed my package and walked off.
Nice.
Like, seriously? Congrats on stealing my kids, manga.
Nice.
Like people, like it's someone in my apartment complex too.
Nice.
What is wrong with people? Yeah, just no chill. Walked up, knelt. Anyway, we do have a soccer match to talk about from, I guess technically two, because we didn't talk about
Yeah,
the
the
win over
Open Cup
Cruisers
was
FC.
afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, Cruisers FC New Mexico United wins a pretty tough match on that one, 3-2. Christian Nava gets the match winner. I know it's been 7 days since this happened. Jacob, thoughts from the Open Cup and the performances you saw in that one?
Sorry, hamstring cramping. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, right? We dominated possession, but gave up a couple goals to a team that probably shouldn't have given up a couple goals to. But I mean, to be fair, they were set piece, kind of ball bouncing around, kind of chaotic, and sometimes the ball bounces our way and sometimes it doesn't. And I think for those two goals, they were kind of, the first one especially was kind of an instance of the ball just not bouncing our way. And so it is what it is. I think the offense looked good. Nava's goal, Nava's finish was fantastic. The ball from Hurst to Nava was spectacular. A cushioned header down and over to the right, or Hurst's right anyways. Really, really special play there. A great ball, I believe, from either Harris or Gloucester. I think it was Gloucester, into Hurst. And so it wasn't blow me away or anything like that. I saw like Detroit City beat their opponent like 9-0. And it wasn't that by any means, but you score 3 goals, you get to play in front of the home crowd, albeit at UNM instead of at Isotopes Park, but it worked. We're through to the next round. Of course, we get to play fucking El Paso again.
I'm so over it.
I kind of wish the U.S. Soccer would realize, like, hey, nobody wants this.
Yeah,
this is not what the Open Cup is about. Like, give us, like, at least if you're gonna do regional, open it up to where it's a bigger regional group. Like, give us like, or like combine a couple of them. So usually they pull like 4 teams, and pit them against each other. Like, maybe you pit 8 teams against each other and draw out of those 8 teams. And El Paso is still going to be in our area, as is Phoenix and Colorado Springs, but at least there's a chance that we don't face El Paso again, or Colorado Springs again. I mean, we're playing them enough in league play and stuff like that. Like, why?
Yeah, between league play, cup play, Open Cup play, playoffs, like, I just look. I know it's supposed to be there. I'm over it. I'm over playing El Paso. I'm over playing Phoenix. I said this. I was talking to Shadow Wolf over on X. I said, honestly, I'm good with the San Antonio, because that's a fun rivalry. Like, and I will classify San Antonio as a rival here at this point. That one's a fun one to watch. I'm just over it, because you go back all the way back to COVID years, right? We played El Paso 3-4 times a year. You play, these guys 4 times a year, 5 times a year. I'm done writing from a media perspective. I'm done. I don't want to write about El Paso anymore. So because it's boring, right? But yeah, open it up. Make it a true Open Cup. I would love to see like Greenville, or would love to see a team out of Florida here in the second round. Something. Just even if you just split the country East versus West, right? That in itself opens up far more possibilities. And I do think Open Cup also needs to mandate that lower division clubs host. I think that needs to be a thing too. But, obviously it has to be contingent upon them being able to, but it is what it is. But yeah, Nava played well. I felt like, we had some really good performances in that Open Cup match. It is worth noting Turi was pulled last minute. Greg Hurst was not slated to even be on the bench last Wednesday night. He was slotted in after Zico replaced Turi last minute. So no idea what happened. Turi was not on the injury report on Saturday.
Okay, hold on. Don't, Seth, we know. It is our job to tell these people that the injury report that they put on Saturday is complete bullshit. The injury report that they put out on Saturday are the injuries that everybody already knows about.
Yep.
I can guarantee you that Turi, Zelalem, and there was somebody else. I don't remember now. But there are more names on that injury report than Jafal and Howell.
Oh, without a doubt. But
and I'm worried that Keller is going to be on the next one because I'm pretty sure he picked up a concussion. And those can be anything from a few days to a month. And so we'll have to see. But we'll talk about that more with the San Antonio match. But yeah, it's just we don't put anything into those injury reports that you see on Saturday. You can take away that the names that are on it are injured, but don't assume that those are the only players that are injured.
Yeah, no, a lot of times it's just, minor knocks and things. But for Turi to be such a late scratch, it was like 3 minutes to kick off. That Turi was pulled. Zico slotted in. Zico played well. Again, there's some really good performances. In that Open Cup match, and some of the guys coming in that got some minutes. I thought, again, you play well. Ball doesn't bounce your way a couple of times, but it definitely looked like it was heading to kicks from the mark until Hursty and Nava linked up, and that was great. 3 years basically since Nava had last been on the pitch in a competitive match. And to pick up a winner, he looked really, really good. Without shining him up too much, he looked really good. He was a pest. You could see. I mean, Nava being 5'4" or whatever he is, going to get up against some of those guys, he looked good. He really did. So, why don't we get updates on space? Yeah, on people's injury statuses.
Essentially, there is no mandate by the league that says you have to disclose injury statuses like in the NFL or other leagues. And so why would you if you don't have to, for one? And so it just is kind of we don't want to give our people a competitive advantage. And so we're going to our opponent's a competitive advantage, so we're not going to disclose that information other than what's already out there. So they have to prepare for Keller being in the lineup or for Zelalem possibly being in the lineup or whatever the case may be. And so because of that, even if you we asked Sanchez, and usually he gives us a pretty boxed kind of they're getting better, they're whatever the case may be. And so I'm sure he has insight on that, but he doesn't have to tell us, and he won't. Because he knows if he tells us, then we put it out because that's our job as media. And then, I doubt other teams are looking at our social media necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's just they don't have to. And Justin, go ahead.
I will say Sanchez has been a bit more forthcoming than other coaches we've had. He'll tell us it's going to be a few weeks, or he will every now and then he'll give us something, right? But again, there's no league mandate to put any of that out. The league did away with that mandate 3 years ago now.
That's usually when he's like, it'll be a few weeks is when they are on that injury report already. In the case of Zelalem, who we're not sure if he's injured technically. He came out at halftime of the Oakland match, and then we haven't seen him since. I think
he did.
So
he took a knock.
I'm almost positive he's injured, but it's not official. So he's probably week to week. And then we might get it'll be a couple weeks still, but more often than not, we just get he's coming back. We're hoping to have him back soon.
Yep.
Type of thing.
About Grady. Grady had a rough start, but I felt like he played himself into the match on Wednesday. got better as the match went along. Obviously scored the the wonder goal.
Uh-oh.
That that really probably wasn't him shooting. But yeah, no, Grady. I think Grady got better as that match went on. So I'm excited by him, young kid out of Albuquerque Academy. Would love to see him get some more minutes, but it's going to be hard to see him getting first team outside of Open Cup at this point. But who knows? And just final from the pit, UNM defeats St. Joseph's. Will advance to the NIT semifinal to face Tulsa on April 2nd. So, yep. Yeah, Lobos actually trailed at half.
Yeah, by 2. Nevada is alive on the other side of the bracket. They play Auburn tomorrow. And so it could be an all Mountain West final if a couple of things go right, but probably not. I have some thoughts on Grady. I could be wrong. He could be a great kid. He was the ball boy for the 2 playoff matches behind the goal that I hang out at. Was not impressed.
Okay.
Did not seem like he wanted to be there. Did not really cheer for the first team. When I asked him how the academy did the day before, he said, I scored. And then he followed it up with, we lost. I wasn't impressed. And for a while on Wednesday, I wasn't impressed. He gets just absolutely demolished on that first goal when he's one-on-one out there. Now, he's not a defender, and they had him playing, left back, basically Gloucester's position, just because we don't really have anybody back there and they need a break. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is a little more mature than he seemed last year. I'm happy he scored because it helped us. And I do like when New Mexico Academy players, do well. But I will stop there because it's a very small sample size that I've been around him. But for 2 90-minute matches where I was right next to him for the majority of those 2 matches, I don't know. But
Bodie Ford went back to Barca Academy. Our understanding is that there was some disagreement over how much playing time he was getting. So went back to the Barca Academy. So, but yeah, obviously, you pick up the win in the Open Cup. You don't have to deal with the extras. You don't have to deal with the fights with the fans like the Burrito Boys did out in Sacramento. That was a wild ending to that one if you didn't see it. I've been trying to follow up. I meant to do some research to see if anything else has happened with those players since then. But yeah, wild ending to Sac Republic and El Farolito. Go check that out, and kudos to the broadcast group for sticking with that for the entirety of it. I imagine there will be some repercussions for El Farolito going into next year's Open Cup, but who knows? But on to Saturday. We know we had a couple folks out. Jafal was out. Hal was out. Zelalem out. You also had Turley out. Keller. Yeah. And you got the San Antonio, a match that we knew was going to be tough. San Antonio obviously looking to avenge the fact that they've not beaten us since 2023. And to put it mildly, they pushed us around from pillar to post. I don't want to say that we didn't look interested or that we were, the lesser team there, but that was San Antonio's match the entire way. I mean, we didn't we put 2 shots on 2 shots in the first half. Obviously you add a number in the second half, but it's just not good enough. Too many defensive giveaways, too many, too unable to string together passes and get forward. And it took way too long to really look like we had any sort of momentum in this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it was as bad as a lot of people are making it out to be. It wasn't good by any means, but I do think that we had some definite moments that I was happy with. I said it in the group chat to Harry. I think that San Antonio is a dirty team, and has been for a long time.
I don't know how Jorge Hernandez was still on the pitch in this one.
I don't either. And for everything that you said, it was still just 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
And the 1-0 was off of a beautiful set piece. That was another inch perfect ball that we just haven't had. And so I'm still optimistic on the season. I don't think the sky is falling. And I'm surprised by the lack of sky is falling kind of comments out there. There's been a couple on Facebook. I'm not on Discord or Reddit like yourself, but there's been a couple. But all in all, not nearly as many as I would expect. Although Cole has another way to get his takes out, being over on Walker's podcast. So I don't know if he'll be as vocal on Facebook as he was last year. I think that, you know, the attack still was kind of not quite. I mean, I've been pretty happy with the attack. I think it's more dynamic already this season than it was the majority of last season. And the biggest thing that I keep coming back to is we're not a full team right now. Nope. Whether that's because of injuries to Howell and Zelalem and Jafal alike, or just the fact that, like, I know there's going to be some players that come in. We've seen that the last several years, that the team will kind of start and then assess and then make some adjustments. I think we bring in somebody on the back line. I've seen the last preseason matches, Tyler Blaquette, who was trialing with us as a center back, he is followed by a bunch of United players and staff members still on Instagram. And I think a deal probably happens there, just because we need help there. He performed well. People seem to like him as far as, you know, following him on social media and stuff. And so I think reinforcements will be coming. Hopefully before El Paso, or before Colorado Springs, and then El Paso. But I don't know for sure. And so, and now if Keller is down as well, you know, that's not good. We didn't give up that goal until Keller went out. Obviously, Shakes. Let's talk about Shakes for a minute. I mean, this match is why Shakes won the starting role, even last year. Because tell you, Tambakis isn't saving those, a handful of those. If Tambakis is in goal, we lose that game 3 or 4-0, theoretically. And so, and Rosarena, I haven't seen enough of a Rosarena to really gauge his shot stopping ability, at least right how it currently is.
I felt like he gave up on the first goal in Open Cup the other day. Like, he didn't really seem to like make an effort on the first goal.
And I was watching that going, you know what, that was a crappy goal to give up, but I don't think Shakes gives up that goal.
Yeah.
I think he comes out and is a little more aggressive. That's like Harry said in the chat, like, Shakes is not afraid to get off his line.
Nope.
And he's athletic enough. Like, Tambakis would get off his line, but then Tambakis was a little slower.
People would lose their shit on Tambi doing that. Like, we've seen it happen on this podcast. Earl hated it. I texted our group. I said, I imagine Earl screaming at his TV right now.
For sure. And so, but Tambakis is older and slower, and not as athletic. Shakes comes out and can make those plays because he's athletic. And yes, Space Kid, he is a little short, but dude has hops, and quick hops.
Get up. Yeah.
And so he's able to make up ground there in other ways. And so, I mean, he is special, and I I put out, back before preseason was even halfway over, I put out my way too early projected starting lineup, and I had a Rosarena in there. I didn't truly believe that. I just wanted to let people know, like, hey, this could happen. But Shakes basically shut the door on that, from what I imagine, pretty quickly. And after a match like San Antonio, he's like, I would be willing to bet he starts against El Paso next Wednesday.
I would not be surprised at all. Let me ask you this. Do you think any part of the result on Saturday was a result of the long travel? Because our United fans travel really well. The long travel from Isotopes Park to the UNM soccer complex. And then, what do you think about the play of Archimedes? The last two matches. God.
Yeah, hey, thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
First, I want to go back to Desert Mike's comment here. No, that I disagree. That ball was, outside of the 6-yard box. He was not getting to that, especially as high as it is. I just don't. I don't think he could have done anything different on that goal. And then Space Kid's comment, yes, that I was concerned as hell after that El Paso match in the Open Cup, and he was doing that stuff. But that was only a year ago. But I feel like he's grown so much since then. Mm-hmm. That if Shakes is our starting goalie going into any match, I feel good. And so yeah, I think that it's Shakes had a fantastic match against San Antonio. Obviously has earned the right to be the number one, and I hope he continues to just grow and get better. And so, and as far as starting goalkeepers in this league, I think he's probably, there's a handful maybe that I would rather have than Shakes, but honestly, not very many. Nope. And now part of that is my ignorance of not knowing all the goalkeepers and watching them as closely as I watch our guys, obviously. But he is up there for me, and I love the aggressiveness that he has and the athleticism that he has, and his ability to make the saves. Like there was the one early, I think, like in the 11th minute, cut back ball towards the penalty spot that gets hit pretty aggressively, and he's able to dive to his left and get a piece of it. There's not many goalkeepers, I think, in the league that are making that play, and that's why he's our starter. And so yeah, and Danny Sanchez, yeah, I forgot about that. Like I heard that a couple times, and I thought for sure they were talking about a player on the other team, because I was like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah. They have a Danny Sanchez. I went to high school with a Danny Sanchez, and then they were like head coach Danny Sanchez, and I was like, that's weird. We have a Dennis and a Danny Sanchez as head coaches right now.
Yeah,
and then they said New Mexico United head coach Danny Sanchez, and I was like, oh. They're just
those broadcasters on Wednesday, they clearly were not in stadium. Number one. No. Number two, they had zero background on the location, on the players. They had nothing. Those guys were awful. You and I could have shown up 30 minutes prior and be like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. Well, we'd have knocked out the United part. The other people I had no idea, but I've done a little more research in 30 minutes on them than I did on these guys seem to. And so
yeah, it was just awful. Awful broadcast.
I get it. There's a ton of broadcasts. There's only, like, even the NFL, right? The NFL is like the league of the United States, and they have to have 10 teams, 12 teams of broadcasters, and there's like 3 good ones.
Yeah.
And that's a sport that everybody in America knows and watches at least a little bit of. And so I get it. It's not an easy job. And you get to the first round of the Open Cup against a second division versus an amateur team. Like, I understand you don't have the A teams kind of chomping at the bit to do that one, but still do just a little bit better. The I was watching on the NHSF or whatever it's called for the high school basketball tournament.
Yeah.
Fort Sumner was playing Cimarron, and he kept saying Cimarron. Yeah. And I was just like, what are we doing here? Like, this is a town in New Mexico that has a high school basketball team that you're announcing. you can't get it right. Like I don't
Yep.
understand. And so yeah, there's always issues. And these away teams, like Arch, that's not the first time I've heard Archimedes
Nope.
by any
Nope.
means.
They did it in San Antonio too.
Yeah.
The
It's
female
like,
broadcaster in
doing?
San Antonio. Yeah. Like, come on,
What are we
guys.
doing?
Yeah. Yeah. USL's got to raise the level here. Yeah. Honestly, I'm 50-50 on the San Antonio broadcast, but
They're not my favorite, but they're definitely not my worst.
No,
they're probably not even bottom half of the league, honestly.
No, they're not. But yeah, it's Wednesday night was terrible, and hence why you and I need to do play-by-play for these matches. I announced it earlier. 1017 will not carry the Orange County away match. They will carry the Phoenix Rising match on the 11th. So maybe we'll figure it out. We'll talk.
That's an 8 o'clock game, so we could possibly do something. Then I'll have to look at my schedule.
Yep, we'll look into that one. But yeah, so obviously, people are, the leagues. Oh, the table's taking shape. No, it's not. Table's not taking shape. Two matches in, two maybe 3 matches. The table's not taking shape. United is back in action this Saturday, coming off of 2 consecutive league losses. You got Colorado Springs Switchbacks coming in this weekend, and obviously this is going to be one of the tougher tests that we'll see early in the season. Not to discount San Antonio, but Colorado Springs.
I think San Antonio and Oakland are better than Colorado Springs.
Entirely possible. I mean, San Antonio, I agree with you.
As of right now, I've watched Colorado. Like, I've watched Colorado Springs both weeks, both of the last, two of the last 3 weeks, and I think Oakland and San Antonio are definitely better than them. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. I'll tell you that much.
That I will. I know, and we've been talking a little bit in our group chat about this Colorado Springs Switchbacks team. Obviously, one of the big draws here, one of the things to watch is the play of one Talon Maples. And Jacob, neither you nor Christina are bought into Talon Maples anymore.
Look, there is something to be said for. So fast forward back up to 2024, right? He comes in as a trialist along with Anthony Herbert. They make the team. He becomes a de facto captain. He wasn't a captain that year, but anybody watching could see that he was a leader on and off the pitch for that club. When you watch the documentary, he has several moments in there where he's the one addressing things and rallying the team up and stuff like that. And then Quill leaves. Sanchez comes in. We have heard that Sanchez and Quill are 2 drastically different coaching styles.
Mm-hmm.
And as a leader on the pitch, in my opinion, if you have a contract and you are part of that team, then you should be doing what you says. Sorry, I read the Josh comment.
Yeah.
Then doing what you need to do to be productive and to be a leader. And I don't think he did that last year. I think he was doing that last year for a little while. And then
whatever happened.
And then I don't know what happened, but it really turned when he came on and got 2 yellow cards after coming on as a sub within like 10 minutes and then getting kicked out of the game. His body language starting that match for the rest of the year was garbage. And he would say the right things. I remember when he moved out to right back there towards the end of the year, we asked him about it. And, I could tell there was something underneath there that he wasn't like completely happy about, but he said the right things. He put a smile on his face for us anyways, but his body language was just not good. And then we kind of hear that, he didn't really want to be here and that's why he's not with us anymore. At least that's the way that I'm taking it, because that's what it sure seemed like after what happened at the middle of last year on. And then he goes to Colorado Springs and has looked bad, has just not looked good. As Mike said, he was the reason for the goal that they lost when they lost Orange County this weekend. he also didn't make the proper play a couple times when they played in their first match. And then the body language on both of those. Now, the header, the body language I get because he was being hard on himself after heading it basically directly to Espy, I think was the goal scorer's name. But we just, I typically root for United players after they leave here. And, right back there, it's not up there right now, but there's usually a signed Talon Maples kit right there. I chose to spend my money on a Talon Maples kit at the Black and Yellow Bash last year. That was the player that I wanted to represent on my back when I walked around town and when I went and wore that jersey. But fast forward to right now, I still wear the jersey, right? I still wore it up in Denver. I wore it in Denver this week when we were up there for spring break. But I don't like him right now. I don't like how he's playing. I don't like his attitude. And so when he had that bad header that led to the Colorado Springs loss, I can't say I was upset. And so I'm curious how a couple things, right? Like how he responds to being here, how he kind of embraces or rejects. I think the players, we're still pretty close knit. I'm real big on kind of like following everybody on social media. And then if they put an Instagram post up, Instagram seems to be the one that the players use the most. And so they put a post up and then, he put one up last week or something like that. And Seymour and Gloucester and Shakes and a bunch of others commented on it. And so like, I think him and the players will still embrace. I'm curious if there's any interaction with Sanchez. And then I'm curious how he interacts with the fans and how the fans interact with him. Because I would not be surprised if he is the one they decide to boo every time he touches the ball. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they kind of, when they announce him in the starting lineup, everybody cheers and wishes him the best. I will say I have had a ton of pushback on my Maples hate on Facebook. There have been a lot of people that have said that it was a huge mistake letting him go and this and the other, which I don't disagree necessarily. We definitely need center backs, and when he was here with us, he was one of the best. But he's not playing well right now, and he obviously didn't want to be here. So
see ya.
So I'm not going to say that we should have brought him back by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of I'm more curious about that than a lot of things. Obviously, I'm curious how we play. I want to see us, put on a good show for the fans and stuff. But as far as like small storylines, that's the major one for me is how the fans interact with him and how he interacts with both the fans and United as a whole.
Yeah. Saturday's going to be interesting. Obviously, the return of Maples, and then, you look at this roster, they come in, they're 1-1-1. They are winless on the road currently, but again, it's early, right? 0-1-1 on the road. They've got a lineup full of players that we're familiar with. Obviously they're going to be familiar with us and how we play and what it's going to be like at the lab. Most of these players have been here several times, right? For me, the questions are more on our side. I've seen it mentioned a couple different places. I would love to see Jake LaCava get a start. Now, whether or not he's ready for 90 minutes, I don't know, but I'm good with Jake LaCava getting 60 minutes. I'm good with that. He's shown me enough. I've been impressed with what I've seen so far in these first couple of appearances. Would love to see more of him. I also want to see us figure out what the hell we're doing on corners, because we need height in the box. Now, to be fair, we are not necessarily a tall team, but we got to put the ball into a playable area, and we haven't really done that so far this season. So, I'm not convinced that now Reed Steven is the guy to take the corners, but at the same time, I think honestly your best bet may be Christian Nava to take corners right now. But
so hold on, let's back up just a hair here. Nava's not going to start. LaCava's not going to start. I understand the want for LaCava to start. LaCava has looked fantastic because he is coming in fresh at the 60-minute mark against tireder legs. And when he does that, he is electric. And I love him in that role. And I think that's going to be his role. Niall obviously earned the starting position coming out of preseason and has done nothing, in my opinion, to lose that. Niall has looked in the first game against Oakland. Niall looked just as good as LaCava. There just wasn't that finishing pass because there wasn't a lot of transitional moments when he had the ball. In San Antonio, he didn't look as good, but the team didn't look as good, right? And so I don't think LaCava is going to start anytime soon because Niall is an up-and-coming talent that I think we're going to showcase more, especially unless he like falters big time, and he has not.
Well, Sanchez has already shown a thought process of playing 12 players. So surely we can throw both Niall and Jake out there together, right?
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing LaCava because LaCava can play a bunch of different areas. So we could throw LaCava out there in the starting lineup as a 9. Give Hurst a rest or something like that.
But they have Archimedes to do that.
And so and our best corner taker is Zico. Yeah. And Zico takes corners pretty consistently for us. But
speaking of Zico, quickly, is he going to be gone this weekend? Because I know he got called up.
Yes, he plays on the 31st, which is Tuesday. So he is, I believe, according to his Instagram story, he was delayed at the airport and then had a 12-hour flight. So I do believe that he is headed to the Philippines or wherever that match is. And so, Space Kid, your glorious king has to be healthy to take corners, damn it.
Yeah, that is very true.
And so if he was healthy, sure, why not? Give him a chance. But he's not. And so here we are, which I'm sorry, but that's kind of his story of his career, right? And so I need him healthy because when he's healthy, when he got healthy at the end of last year, I was really excited about him. But right now, he's not healthy. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about that. And so, yeah, I think that Wall, Nava, and LaCava are fantastic bench options. I don't think they're worthy of a start just yet. Like I said, the offense has looked dynamic and fun in a lot of moments. They're trying different things. Some of it's working, some of it's not. I don't think LaCava is the answer to why we're not winning games.
No, he's not. He's not. And I would love to see more of him. I want to see more of Renix. I thought him and Renix together on the pitch was
him and Renix
a lot
have
of fun.
Chemistry, yes.
Hamalainen has been fun to watch. He's done some good things. Turi did fine when he was out there. Hopefully he doesn't have anything significant going on.
I've liked Nico as a center back, honestly. I wasn't expecting that. And I don't think he's like a first choice center back, but he's bigger than I thought he was. And he's kind of held his own there.
Yeah. No, he's been good. It's not, and I'm certainly not saying that, people are putting in poor performances. They certainly haven't. I mean, I can't really pick out someone's been, oh yeah, they were terrible in this match. Yeah. Right. It's been, you look back at Oakland, you get the unfortunate, obviously the first goal is, it's whatever, second goal, the one off the face, like can't do anything about that. So, but yeah, Noel's played fine.
You mentioned Noel Desert, or Mike mentioned Noel. LaCava and Noel played two drastically different positions. They were asked to do drastically different things. Is LaCava more impactful right now? I would say probably, but he's also not asked to play in the middle for 90 minutes and get everybody else involved. And so LaCava is playing better than Noel, but they don't play the same position. So LaCava is not going to start for Noel when it comes down to LaCava getting the start. To me, it's really for either Hurst up top or Niall on the right, and neither of those players really deserve to be pulled off right now. And so, to Not Who, welcome, Not Who. You are a new name. I have not not seen you over in the chat before, unless you've been in by a different name. We re-signed him, I think, because he's a big body who's really good at hold-up play and can come in and give us a different look up top than Hurst does, or LaCava or something like that.
He's also probably the only other true striker we have.
Yes, and so I'm happy that we re-signed him, and I think the goal against Oakland, it is opened up, the space for Renix is opened up because Archimedes ran to the near post and took literally 3 defenders down to that level with him. And so he might not be a true striker in a sense that he's going to give us, double-digit goals, but he understands the game and does certain things really well that we don't necessarily have others that can do that. Like, nobody else on our team is as physical as he is up top. And so, yes, there's Christy. If Christina were here, she would mention, him being offside and stop and stuff like that. And so it just, he's solid. Don't get me wrong. He's not like going to come in and, score 20 goals and be an amazing, golden boot contender, but he does a lot of things really well, and he's really good off the bench, and could start in a pinch, especially in certain matchups. I would love to see him start. Like, if we, I would have loved to have seen him. Did he start against? I can't remember. Maybe he did. Did he start against Cruisers?
Yes.
Okay, and like that's a match that I feel like he could have kind of physically dominated, but it is what it is. Yeah. Vargas coming back surprised me. He should be playing a little bit more, I think, but we talked about this all through the preseason. Our front 4 positions, there's like 9 or 10 guys that deserve starting time up there that just aren't there. And so at the moment, we're 2 games in. The attacks looked good. We're going up against a Colorado team that I'm not super scared of. That doesn't mean we're going to win, but like, it's not like I was more scared of the San Antonio match than I am of Colorado Springs.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I kind of want to see what the same group more or less can do rolling out there. And then I love the combo of Renix and LaCava coming in and working their magic against some tired legs. And so yeah, when it comes to Colorado Springs, I'm expecting more of the same. Colorado Springs has been more direct than you would expect, having Talon Maples as a center back. They have not been passing it back and forth like we did with Talon here. And so Space Kid, what we need to do differently, I think, is in our final third, we need to finish. And that's not just putting the ball in the back of the net, but that's like the pass before the pass getting to the back of the net. We've had good creativity, but we just haven't quite gotten the ball in those really dangerous areas as consistently as I think we need to. And then, of course, when we do, we need to finish. We need to put the ball in the back of the net. And I think we will. I think a little home cooking is exactly what this team needs right now. And hopefully, like, part of my prediction is going to kind of be dependent on if Keller's back or not. But I think if Keller's back, and it's basically the exact same lineup that we saw last week, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I would love to see another. I would love to see 9,000 plus out at the lab on Saturday for a 1 p.m. kickoff. By the way, 1 p.m. local time. We
always do the first home opener early.
Yeah,
it's never usually an evening match, and so yeah, I think I'm excited for that. It has been hot down here. I don't know if it's been hot over there, but it's been in the 90s the last few days here, and so that's going to be fun if it's that hot up there. But we'll see.
Yep. Yeah. For me on Saturday, we've got to be cleaner at the back. That's been one of the areas that we've struggled in each of the matches so far this season. Particularly we really struggled in the back against San Antonio last weekend. We have to be cleaner. We have to, and it's something we talked about a lot last year too. We have to be cleaner in the back. Like we are inviting a ton of pressure, which again, that's by design, right? But if we're going to do that, you have to be clean. you can't give the ball over in defensive half. You know,
To me, like when you play out of the back at this level, you're going to, right?
Yeah.
You're going to give it up. We typically, aside from Hartford and Tulsa last year, when we have given it up in the back, we have recovered nicely.
Mhm.
And it hasn't cost us. So if we give it up, I don't really care. As long as we're not, and as long as that's not directly leading to a goal, then we're gonna play our system. That's the system we are, like, that's just how it's gonna be, right? That's just
Yep.
We're gonna play it out of the back. That's what it's gonna have. That's how it's gonna be. And so I'm okay with giving it up in certain situations. We just have to make sure that we're able to transition back to defense right away.
Mhm.
And if we're doing that, then obviously I want it crisper, because if we don't have it crisper, then we're not progressing the ball forward, and that's when we get in trouble. But a turnover here or there is going to be, that's one thing. And so I think what I really need to see is moments, not necessarily all the time. I can't expect it for 90 minutes right now, but moments of better precision passing out of the back,
Mhm.
forward, right? Forward. And
Yep.
so when we have strung together passes, when the other team is pressing, when we have strung together some passes and broken through that, we've looked really dangerous and really good. We need that, 10 more times a match, instead of, we need that like 15, 20 times instead of 5 to 10 times.
Yep.
Which is what it's already been, and which is what it has been.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Jacob, we have crossed into stoppage time here with United Front. Let's get your score prediction for Saturday against Colorado Springs.
My head says 2-1. My heart says 2-2. No, sorry, my gut says 2-2. My heart says 3-0. And so I'm, not quite. So I'm gonna kind of combine all those and go 2-0.
2-0. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, I certainly see the trouble here between the head and the heart, right? Obviously being back at the lab, back here for the home opener, there's going to be 9,000 plus screaming fans on Saturday to support these guys here. It's going to be 7-0, just like Germany over Brazil. No. 1-0 home opener. Shakes is going to have a five save shutout on Saturday. So can't wait to see it. What is the theme on Saturday other than just opening day? Is there something special on Saturday?
No, just home opener.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting out there, hopefully seeing, like I said, a stadium full of screaming people. Again, 1 p.m. kickoff. So make sure you're there. This is not a Saturday evening game. This is a Saturday day game. So we'll be out there earlier than many of the East Coast clubs this weekend. So we get a time slot all to ourselves, essentially.
We do. And there is a fan fest going on from 10:30 to 12:30 for the team, that the team's putting on over in the tailgate lots. Go check that out.
Get some pancakes from Pete.
Yeah, pancakes with Pete. I will be there. I am going to make it. And so if you see me or Seth, be sure to say hi. You probably won't see Seth. He's a little hermit up there in the press box, but you'll see me down on the ground.
I'll be hanging out with new communications director Carlos Tenorio.
Yeah, if Carlos isn't down on the ground at all.
Yeah.
Which I want to talk about that for a brief second. Me and him, I interviewed him for the newspaper as part of the dual sombreros, because that's when PJ Hess was also wearing sombreros. And so, I've known Carlos for a long time, since he was a kid. He still is a kid, but since he was even a younger kid, and I couldn't be happier for him to be in that position, and he's earned it. Like, that is not a spot that it was given to him just because. He has definitely earned that spot, and I couldn't be happier. Don't know what it means for us. Probably not a whole lot of change, even though I have a good relationship with him. I've had a good relationship with all of them, and so I am happy for him. I love to see it. I love to see them investing in New Mexico talent. I think it's probably something they should have done last year when David left. But God's timing works perfectly as always. So he's there now, and I couldn't be happier. So I am a little upset with him because I said, "Man, you should get that job. You'd be great at it." And he said, "Nah, I'm happy where I'm at." And then when he got it, and I reached out to him, I said, "What the heck, man?" And he just put a little smirk because I think that was probably the plan.
He didn't respond to me.
Well, I responded. I texted him like Friday or something like that. Like it was early on, and so no, he's a great guy. Happy for him, and
we'll try to get him on the show again at some point.
Yeah, for sure. We for sure will. So, but that's all I got, man. You got anything else, Seth?
No, I'm good. It is hot, and I don't have air conditioning, so
don't be a porch pirate. I turned my air conditioner on today, and so
I've got a box fan in the window up here trying to suck the cooler air in now that the sun's gone down. But no, it's 81 degrees inside here right now.
Ooh, yeah, we were at like 82 earlier, and that's when I was like, "Now I got to turn it on. Nope. I got to just do it. I got to bite the bullet." But Josh, Space Kid, really, like, thanks for being back in our lives. Missed you, I guess, kind of most of the time. Josh, thank you for my Holland hair comment. That's what I was going for.
Spring training champions.
Ooh, the Rockies finished 500 in spring training, so watch out. Mike, I think I learned that Mike is Brendan Fryer's dad. I saw Brendan at the watch party for the Oakland match and said hello to him. Justin, as always, thanks for popping in for a minute. Who else was over here? I feel like there were some others. Symphonic was over there. Alex, thank you for the birthday wishes. Who else? I feel like there were a couple others.
Eric,
I think Eric, Brendan. Brendan was over there. Yeah. Eric popped in, late as always. Thanks, Eric. And if I missed you, I apologize. But thank you guys all over in the chat.
Wait, whose birthday? It's Mike's birthday?
No, it's my birthday.
No, it's his birthday today too.
Oh, it's his birthday. I guess that is Mike's birthday. Is it Brennan? Is it Mike's birthday too? But anyways, yeah. Thank you guys. Yep, Mike's also.
Hey, Mike, happy birthday!
Happy birthday! That's cool. It's Usman's birthday today too.
It is Usman's birthday, yeah.
And so a handful of March 24th floating around out there. So awesome! Thank you guys. That's I'll have to, if I can we need a picture with me, Mike, and Usman.
There you go.
At the home match on Saturday. But thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week, hopefully talking about a win. We'll be previewing the El Paso Open Cup match, I guess. And then we'll be back. We'll see if there's any other announcements. Hopefully Christina will be back with us. She's out of town currently on mom duty. And so Eric does HVAC. He can help you out there. So, but thank you guys. We'll be back next week. If you're listening to this after we're live on a podcast, on the podcast player of your choice, please rate and review us. Helps us out. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click that follow button and possibly the bell if you want to get some notifications. Although I don't think it matters anymore. I get notifications all the damn time and I don't hit any bells. And so just follow us. And then if you could follow us on all of our social media platforms. We just hit 1,500 on Facebook. We're at like 700 on Instagram, a couple hundred on Twitter, X, whatever. And I don't know if we have what Blue Sky looks like. And then if you're in that thing, follow or go to the Discord and the subreddits as well. But yeah, follow us for sure on those social medias, United Front NM, I think across the board. And so, yeah, follow us over there. We'd love to see you commenting on that stuff. Help us promote that a little bit more. Me and Seth are terrible at self-promotion, but we will have shirts this year. And then I'm working on some little cards with a QR code because I do talk about it quite a bit when I'm out at United events, but I don't like sit there and take the time. Like, yeah, pull this up right now. Like, go Go
Yeah.
look it up right now. And then if I can have a little card, give them a little card, they can scan the QR code, find the podcast easily, share it amongst your other United fans and friends, fans, whatever, you know what I mean.
Frenemies too.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, Cole, you can share it with Cole if you want
Yeah.
to. Bonnie down in Hobbs, you can share it with him.
Mhm.
So yeah, just share it wherever you can and help us spread the word. We're going to continue to be here and be doing this for who knows how long. Hopefully until we get a new stadium, at least. And so, but thank you guys. We'll be back. Until then, love y'all. Somos niños.